Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to another live stream. Um, I'm Phil Balliot with the Guided Growth Syndicate, Atlas Growth Navigator, and Atlas Agency Launch Lab. And I am going to be talking about here work ethic, hustle culture, and how to scale your business effectively. Um, I think that's one thing there's a lot of confusion on. People like there's this thing going around social media right now. It says something to the effect of nobody cares, work harder. And that's true to a point. There's a lot of truth to that, but like there's also more to it than that, right? I don't under that just doesn't ring true for a lot of reasons. And I think if hard work was all it would take to make you rich, then day laborers would be millionaires. So we know that's not true, right? And we know that most wealthy people tend to do the least amount of work. So um, where's the how does this work out, right? How do you get from one to the other? Um, you know, when I'm talking about rich people not doing any work, I don't mean this. I don't mean you just drift through life like lumps of crap from Billy Madison. Um, so, like, if working hard doesn't make you rich and being lazy doesn't make you rich, which is it? You know, and I bet I know what you're gonna say, but the answer to this question is leverage. Leverage. So Sheena's a big fan of saying small hinges swing big doors. And that is 100% true. Leverage is what makes you wealthy. Leverage is just a shorter way of saying work smarter, not harder. So that is what you need to acquire in order to scale effectively. You need leverage. They use it in the financial world too. It has some meaning, like with real estate purchases and stuff. It is not my expertise. I don't know anything about it. So that side of it, anyway. So I don't. I think it has to do like if you're borrowing money or you can get investors or something. But anyway, that's not really my forte. But leverage is a thing, right? It's one of the most important things that you can do to scale effectively because it takes a lot of the labor off of your plate. And I put this in here because I thought this was funny because I know when I said day laborers should be millionaires and rich people do very little work, you were probably thinking balance because I was too originally, and that's where I found this. I guess this is a tweet, and it made me laugh. It took 28 years to realize that no matter what the meeting is about, if you randomly chime in with "it's just about finding that balance," people will always agree. And I thought back to all my years going to staff meetings and stuff, and this guy's right. So I just thought that was hilarious. Um, so the way we gain leverage, there's a French term, a French culinary term. It's called mise en place, and essentially it's preparation and systemization. In this case, it's about cooking, and I'm very fastidious about using mise en place when I cook. For those of you that don't know me very well, I take my cooking seriously. Before I started doing this, I almost opened a pizzeria. I looked into it very deeply, and here's the thing. I had been cooking for a long time, but I was one of those people. I measured with my heart, not with like measuring spoons and measuring cups and stuff. So I couldn't I couldn't duplicate these recipes it tasted a little different each time. And if you run a restaurant, you need consistency. So I had to take time and painstakingly make these recipes, these sauces and things over and over again, and then write down the results each time with what I used until I got it to where I wanted it to be. And that was important because when you have a restaurant, what if I'm not the one cooking? You know, because like I'm in the back doing books or something, right? And somebody else has to cook. They need to know how to make the food, not just have an idea of how to make it. They need to know how to make it. So that's where preparation and systemization comes into place. And even before I started measuring everything now, like you can see in this picture here, all the ingredients are separated into these bowls. So you have like here you have the ground beef. Oops, my bad. And I can't go back. But anyway, you got all the all the ingredients separated. You just add them as you need them. So you separate them out to start. And now we're going to talk about Skeletor. And this is what you do when you replace yourself, right? And I'm going to give you an example of how I do that. And even if you're just starting out, you can do this. So think about your daily tasks, everything that takes time, okay? Everything that takes time from you. And the hustle culture people are going to tell you, just keep doing it. You know, even if you have to stay up 20 hours a day, just do it. That's fine. If you want to do that, look, I'm not going to argue with you. Everybody has their own ways of doing things, right? So it doesn't matter. If that's what you want to do, then go for it. I'm not that guy. So I started my business because I do not live to work. I work to live. And I don't want to be that guy that's working 20 hours straight. That's just not who I am. So I made a list of all the tasks that I have. And it's everything. It's like cutting the grass, cleaning up the dog crap, the things that we have to do like in-house, like vacuuming, straightening up, folding laundry, everything, you name it, all of that stuff, right? And then all of your business tasks, okay? And I'm fortunate. In my development, we have a guy, landscaper lives in my development, and he has most of the homes here in the development. So he cuts our yard for $40. And for those of you again that don't know, I have a yard. It is, in my opinion, too small for a riding mower, but it's just big enough that it takes me close to 3 hours to cut the grass until I clean up all the dog shit. Then I got to cut the grass. Then I got to weed whack, and then I got to do the little leaf blower thing. Because I have a push mower, so it just takes more time. So it takes me about 3 hours to do that. And then on top of that, I'm allergic to fresh cut grass. It's nothing major. It's not like, life threatening or anything, but my face gets all puffy. I can't breathe. My eyes are watery. So it's no fun. It can, ruin a whole weekend for me. So, but with that in mind, this guy can come. He has like this really cool 0-turn riding mower, and he cuts my grass. It takes him like, I don't know, 30 minutes maybe, and he's done. So, I look at that and I go, I can pay this guy $40 and my grass is cut in 30 minutes. Or I can do it myself and it takes 3 hours. So he's the expert in that area. Why wouldn't I let him do it for $40? Because I could be on a sales call for that time, and I can make $6,000 on a sales call. On one sales call, I could make $6,000. Why would I it's not efficient for me to spend 3 hours cutting my grass. Like that could be 3 sales calls. That could potentially be $18,000. Why wouldn't I give him 40 to do it? So do you see what I'm saying here, like about replacing yourself? And you can do this in business too. So when you stop and think about it, like here you are, and you have an agency, and there is something in that agency that you're really skilled at. It might be copywriting, it might be sales closing, it might be web development, it might be running ads. I don't know. It could be anything. But whatever you're really skilled at, that's where you should spend your time. And then all these other little Skeletors here, These are all things that other people are skilled at. And you're going to let them do their part to make your offer amazing. And that's how you scale. That's how you scale. Now, you do have to manage them, right? And you do have to know how to use people effectively. And, to be clear, I don't mean use them like they have box seats at a Phillies game and you're only friends with them because you want to be in those box seats. I mean, use them for their skills and compensate them fairly. And like, I don't know, like a lot of people don't understand this for some reason. But in professional sports, general managers, they're not out to rip each other off. There is no general manager in Major League Baseball that would offer the Phillies a low A nobody prospect for Bryce Harper. I mean, unless that's what the Phillies were asking for. For the most part, teams are trying to meet each other in an area where it's a win-win deal. And the reason for that is it's a small fraternity, right? So these guys, they get hired and fired all the time, and they might need help from the other guy down the road and stuff like that. So it's not as cutthroat as you think, believe it or not. It's weird how that works out. But you're always trying to make a fair trade. And it's the same thing with you and your agency. The other little Skeletors that you have around you here, you want to be fair to them. You want to make sure that they're happy and well compensated, because they will come back and they will work with you again. And they will bring other little Skeletors with them, which will make your scaling a hell of a lot easier, because now you're managing them, right? But they're managing the other people, and you don't have to worry about that. So it's just another nice, easy way to scale. And Archimedes said, "Give me a lever long enough and a fulcrum on which to place it, and I shall move the world." And he's right. I mean, it's simple physics. So it doesn't matter what you're doing, what your offer is, what your skill set is. If you have leverage, you can get anything done. So all these people that, they want to talk about, oh, well, it's different, it's hard for me. It's not hard for you. It's hard for you because you're not thinking about the opportunity that you have in front of you. So with that in mind, get yourself some leverage. Now, fortunately for you guys are in the Atlas Growth Navigator. So you have leverage. You have human leverage all around you. You have a network of people. You got ad specialists around you. You got closers around you. You got web developers around you. You got content creators around you. You got copywriters around you. And you have email list managers around you. So just with these skill sets, you have enough to create a killer offer that can make you money. Because all you have to do is be good at one of those things, and let the other people be good at the other things. And it's something George Washington used to say. When they were making their battle plans, when the Continental Army was facing off against the British troops, and they'd make their battle plans, everybody in the headquarters in that room, when they were coming up with this, he would listen to what they had to say. Even the lieutenants that were in the room, he would get their thoughts on it. And the reason for that was because the way he saw it, he has his ideas, right? He knows what he wants to do. And if he could understand what everybody else in that room wants to do, then he would know what they know plus what he knows, which would make him the smartest man in the room and put him in the best position, the most effective position to make the best decision. So that is something to really keep in mind if you're putting together an offer, right? And let's say you're like me. Let's say you're a really good sales closer, but you don't know shit about ads or the web development or whatever. put people around you who are good at that. And then you can incorporate that into your offer seamlessly. So it allows you to really broaden what you offer. And the cool thing is, if you're just starting out, it doesn't matter now, because now you can offer everything that a full-fledged agency offers, because you have it all right here. So these are your human resources, as it were. And then here's some really cool other resources. I don't know how many of you have ever heard of plr.me, but it's fantastic. PLR stands for Private Label Rights. So one of the things I struggled with for a long time with email campaigns was a lead magnet. And then I found plr.me. Well, here's the cool thing. You can go there and you can buy like anything you want. You can buy blog articles. You can buy books. You can even buy courses, right? So once you buy them, you can edit them, and you should edit them. Let me be very clear on that. You should edit them and change the cover, maybe take out a chapter, put in a chapter, whatever, or just change the way it's worded. I don't know, whatever you need to do to make it your own. Okay. Make it your own. And then once you make it your own, you can now literally put, like for the author part, you can put your name legally because you bought the private label rights to it. And here's something for you. So like, let's say you wanted to do a credit repair offer. And even somebody like me, to give you an idea, like for me, finances, the way I do finances, if I go to the ATM and it's plus or minus $60 to the number I have in my head, I'm like, okay, all right, everything's good. My wife is probably having an aneurysm somewhere listening to this right now. But that's how I do finances. So, but I could easily do a credit repair offer, because I would go and find myself a credit repair specialist and I would partner with them so that they do the work. And I basically bring them the customers. I take my cut, they take their cut, we're happy. And here's the really cool thing. I can go to plr.me. I can buy a course. On credit repair, and I can make that a lead magnet. I could charge, I don't know, something stupid and small, like $19 or something, some kind of pocket change offer, and get it out there. The other thing I can do, I can make it free. And then I can hope that people on my list that get this and they're like, that have credit problems, and they look at this and go, oh, well, shit, this is just way too difficult for me. I'm just going to let the experts handle it. And that's something that a lot of people miss. You can give people the knowledge, right? A lot of times we like to talk about, give them the what, not the how, because we want them to come to us for the how. Sometimes you can even give them the how. Like, if there are certain topics that are just intimidating to people, and finances and like credit repair, that is something, if you have bad credit, you're probably not good at finances. So that's probably really intimidating to you. So you can give them that course, and then they'll be like, wow, these people, anyway, getting a little off track here, but the point is, you can go get like an entire course from plr.me and give it out if you want, or rebrand it and repurpose it and sell it, whatever you want to do. And you might be thinking, okay, well, that's all well and good, but I don't have an email list. There are things for that too, and I should have put it on here. I did not. So take notes. jvzoo.com. It's jointventurezoo.com, but it's just jvzoo.com. There's all these people there with large email lists, and you present an offer to them. It's expensive. They're going to take about 50% of your offer, but it gets your offer out there in front of other people. And from there, it allows you to build a list. So if you're going to do something like that, do not put your high ticket offer out there. Do a small pocket change offer or something like that. yes, you can leverage that as well. And again, it's jvzoo.com, and that is email list leveraging. Moving on to the next one, we have ChatGPT. I almost didn't put this on here because I know everybody knows ChatGPT. A lot of people, their results have not been the greatest. I can, for the most part, tell when I see ChatGPT copy. However, I will say that it has gotten better, and I use it a lot, especially for idea generation. There are two problems I see when people use ChatGPT. First of all, you need four. You need the paid version. Okay, the paid version has current information, and it's a lot better. The writing is just cleaner. It's a lot less like that uncanny valley stuff that you see with 3.5. So you definitely need four. And then the other side of that is that you need really good prompts to get it to write what you want. And for those of you in the Atlas Growth Navigator that are watching this, I owe you a list of prompts to use for content creation, and I need to be prompt in getting that to you. So I will work diligently to do that. Part of the hang up on this, and it's not an excuse, I have to do it, but my prompts are a little unorthodox. I tend to give it like paragraphs, and then like I have this whole conversation with it before we even start writing. And it's a little hard to explain, but I have this whole conversation with it, and I tell it everything about my offer, and I tell it to ask me questions about my avatar and all this stuff, right? So and then I go into my offer, and then I tell it like, okay, so with all this that you understand now, I want to do an 8 email sequence or whatever it is, and it has a really good idea of what I'm looking for. I just basically talk to it like a human being. It's kind of weird, but I will put it out, soon. I will get this to you guys, I promise. You deserve it. Third, it's kind of weird to put on here, but YouTube. So YouTube is a fantastic resource. There is one problem with YouTube, though. It's a lot. So it's a lot like the Library of Alexandria, right? It basically encompasses all of human knowledge right there in one place. The downside to it is that it also encompasses all of human bullshit right there in one place too. And I will tell you right now, you can learn anything you want on YouTube for free. Okay. You don't need coaches. You don't need programs. You don't need anything, because it's all on YouTube for free. The only reason people like us exist is we save you the time of cutting through all that bullshit to find what you need, right? So that's really the big issue. If you had an unlimited amount of time, you could learn anything you want from YouTube. It's not to say that it's not valuable, right? Like, you can go there and you can get information that you need. Yeah, you can like recipes and stuff like that. Little tutorials on like Go High Level or whatever. I mean, it's all there. If you use it properly, it's there. So keep that in mind. It's more of a resource than a lot of people give it credit for. Next, we have Answer the Public. I don't know how many of you heard of this. It's kind of cool, especially if you're working on putting an offer together. So Answer the Public, it like tracks Google searches. So you can, I think if the free one, you get like 3 searches a day. The paid version, you get more than that. I don't remember how many. They might even have different tiers. I'm not sure. But the crux of this is that you go into it and you ask it questions, and it like pulls up answers based on like percentages of search results and keywords and stuff. And so you can kind of like figure out what the biggest pain point is for your avatar and stuff. And then you can gear your offer to really, twist the knife and whatever. And then lastly, we have Indeed. Now, Indeed is a job website. People go there to find jobs, and we're entrepreneurs. So why the hell is Indeed on a resource list for entrepreneurs? Well, the thing is, like, a lot of people don't know this, but you can go to places like Indeed or Glassdoor or whatever, and you can pitch them. So, like, I looked up, what was it? I think it was marketing. I don't remember exactly. But my goal was to find businesses that needed marketers, and I would pitch them my agency. That was the plan. And this is kind of a funny story. I ended up getting a job offer from a place in Tampa Bay, and it was like $200,000 a year. And I was like stoked. I was over the moon. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I did this, And then I found out I had to be in the office 2 days a week. And that's not, like, maybe I missed something, or maybe that's not how it was presented. I thought it was completely remote. And I know a lot of you are probably thinking, like, well, so what? Like, go to the office. Well, a couple problems with that. One, I'd have to put a shirt and tie on. And two, it's in Tampa Bay. That's like 8 hours for me. So we'd have to move. And if we'd have to move, I got kids, like, and like I could afford to, cover everything on 200 grand. I know that, but like, what if it doesn't work out, and then we're living in Tampa Bay, and then my wife would have to go get a job, and she doesn't, like, we wouldn't have childcare then, like, it'd be a whole thing. Here we have some family and stuff. So, plus I think I can do better than 200,000 a year with my agency. So I decided to bet on myself. But it is absolutely a resource that you can use to find, whether it's a stopgap to bring in some income during a slow time, or just to pitch your services. You can go either way. So, and that took me a little bit I heard this a while ago, and it took me a little bit to kind of wrap my brain around that, because I still had that 9 to 5 mentality that, like, I'd be interviewing for this position and it would be like, yes, sir, no, sir, thank you, sir, may I have another sir? But it's not that way. You're interviewing them as much as they're interviewing you. So keep that in mind, and utilize it, and let me know how it goes. So anyway, that's it for tonight's presentation. Thank you, guys. It's been great spending time with you, and I look forward to talking with you all again soon. Take care.